I don't know if you remember this guy, but I did a review video or a reaction video to him, and he was basically saying that, he was as an engineer. I think he was a software engineer or something like that, or he was a developer of some sort, and he didn't want to do it anymore. And basically, my assessment of him was that he was lazy. I know some of you guys remember him. Some of you guys that's new to the channel, maybe you're not as familiar with this gentleman, but I was basically criticizing him. I said, man, this guy's lazy. He not dedicating himself. He not really throwing himself into it. And I think that that's what the sentiment of the show is going to be. We're going to talk about budgets over in Oakland because I think that they're going to be filing for bankruptcy soon. And you heard it here first. I'm already predicting it. I've been thinking that a lot of these American cities are going to file for bankruptcy. We're going to talk about crime across America. We're going to break down some things. We're going to go into a lot of different stuff that's happening across America. I want to talk about Vivek, especially since we got the debate coming on tonight. And then we're going to talk about people that's tired of working. But before we get into that, I want to look at these people's responses. You seen the response, Brandy? Okay. I haven't seen the response yet. I said that I was going to check it out in real time with you guys. Interesting thumbnail. Looks like he's working on his thumbnails. So let's see what he has to say.
What's up, guys? So I'm coming to you guys from Colombia. I decided to come back and I'm on a herping, birding, wildlife tour of sorts. Just exploring, because nothing really lights me up like just being in nature in general. Despite how optimistic that sounds, I'm actually just making a quick little reaction video to a video someone made against my video that I made almost a month ago now on software engineering, which is completely unrelated to where I am right now. But in any case, I still wanted to make this now while I have a little bit of time. I've wanted to make a reaction video in general to like some of the comments and just like where I'm at and stuff, but I just haven't had the time. But it's coming, like after this this trip here, I'm gonna sit down and just make that video and like properly script it out and do the editing and blah blah blah. But for now, this is a little raw reaction to me reacting to this guy reacting to me, which is a little convoluted, but in any case. So the guy's name was Anton Daniels, but he's just a channel that just reacts to a bunch of random things. He's got like 200 something K subscribers. And to get a little bit more specific of what he was saying, he was trying to say that I didn't want to self-improve out of laziness in my career in software engineering. At the end of the day, he just took what I was saying at face value, and he was saying how like, oh, like this guy's lazy, he refuses to self-improve, blah, 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 in the context of software engineering. But there's like so much missing context there, because that entire video that I made was about, it wasn't coming from a place of laziness. It was coming from a place of me questioning my career and questioning what the next steps are that I want to take in life.
Now, let me add some context. One of the things that he was complaining about, if I remember, because it was a little while ago, one of the things that he was complaining about is having to continuously self-improve as far as the development journey that he had or what it required in order to be successful when it comes to software engineering. So you have to continue to improve your skill set. You have to continue to grow and learn new languages and evolve and become better at what it is that you're doing, and then eventually grow into being a team lead, and then ultimately becoming a oversee that particular department, and then job hop. And then once you're there for 2 or 3 years, you want to continue to evolve and go over to another different company because they're going to pay you more to leave than you will to stay. But in order to do that, you got to continuously self-improve. And on top of that, you have to get some projects under your belt, which requires for you to really participate in your own success. You cannot stay stagnant. The industries are ever evolving, and you have to forever improve if you want to be successful in that field. And then eventually you get into the C-suite, or you get into the executive ranks, or you become a director and you kind of oversee teams or whatever. But you have to continuously self-improve, and he didn't want to do that. As a matter of fact, one of the things I remember him saying is that he didn't even like coding, or he didn't even like doing it. That attitude resonates within your team. It resonates within your work. You can see that a person don't like doing what they doing. And so why would you keep them, especially when you consider that the industry is an industry of ebbs and flows, and that there was a bunch of layoffs that were coming. And so if you are not as good of a performer as somebody that is dedicated to their craft, then why would they keep you over somebody else? You see what I'm saying? So that is a form of laziness, because that is the requirement that it takes in order to continue to be successful when it comes to software engineering. That's laziness. But I want to hear what he has to say.
because I don't want to end up in a spot 10, 20 years from now where I have responsibilities that tie me to a career that I'm not necessarily passionate about. So I think it is perfectly reasonable for me at the ripe old age of 26, while I have the luxury of the time, to question what to do next. So that's the entire reason why I was like, all right, maybe I don't want to invest any more time into this career. And that's it. That's where that was coming from. Like, I know I
It's
might
not
have
what he
come off
said.
as a little entitled or privileged or whatever it might have you from that video, but that was not my intention at all, because no one is entitled to jack shit. And if anything, I'm craving work right now, to be honest.
You can't just crave it, you have to show it. And we can only take you at face value. It's like a woman, right? We can't predict what your feelings and your emotions are. Maybe we can start to figure it out if we've been around you for a long time or we've been following your content. So the people that is over here at the Millionaire Morning Show or the Anton Daniels channel or whatever, so on and so forth, they understand me. And so they can tell when things are off or what my general sentiment is. But usually if you talk to a woman, they want you to predict what they're thinking. They want you to already know what you want them to eat. You know what I'm saying? And so we can't predict what your intention is. We can't go by off your feelings. We can only go by what you say on your videos. And so that's what we react to.
Honest with you, like something that Dan Coe said, that is that if you don't like pick your path in life, life will pick it for you. And I totally feel that. And because like I feel this pull to just kind of like get into some kind of work and just go crazy and just put my head down and work. But I want to make sure I'm doing that, working on the right things for me. Like, and I'm ready to grind. Like
I'm
maybe
ready
my
to
work
grind.
is
Just
related
grind.
to like
I
like
mean, I'm
wildlife
ready to
and nature
grind.
or whatever.
I'm always gonna be
Because like
grinding.
I'm literally here right now. Like look at this, place. Like this doesn't really do it justice, but
Wow.
like it's fucking nice, and
Impressive.
this is just more my speed. Maybe the work that I have to do is related to this. I don't know. I'm exploring my options, but I'm just not lazy. In that video that he was reacting to, I was just saying how I didn't want to, grind out all these like data structures and algorithms and stuff after work every day, after already doing software development. But the reason was because in my career so far, I was able to get good at my job without doing that. Like, because those skills weren't necessarily relevant to what I was doing. I used to be a test engineer, and I was working on automation software and test software for hardware systems and product and stuff like that. I did that for like 4 years. So like, even without
Wow.
practicing
Four
anything
years.
after work, I just learned shit on the job, and I got good at it that way. And I don't know, like I have a good work ethic, and when I'm working, I'm not trying to like slack off or anything. I just did my job. I did it well. If I didn't know how to do something in Python, I just figured it out, or more recently.
That's what being an engineer is. That's literally what being an engineer is. It's not somebody teaching it to you, it's you figuring out how to solve for a problem that maybe you didn't know how to solve for, or that people don't even know that is a problem yet. You're making things easier for people to do what they do on a daily basis. That's what being an engineer is.
When I was a diagnostic software engineer, when I didn't know how to do something, I figure out the syntax. I ask one of the people I'm working with. It's nothing too crazy, at least in my eyes. In that video, I was probably doubting my abilities, just because like the interview process for software engineering doesn't necessarily reflect the job in certain cases. Literally today, I did a online career assessment thing, like a pre-screening thing, and I got this problem I've never seen before that I can guarantee you I would never see in the job, like, because
Listen, guys, here's the skinny of it. And I'm going to give him a little bit of slack. And again, I want y'all to go ahead and check out his channel. His name is Jaul Panos. Go ahead and check him out if you like his content, and go and subscribe to his channel, whatever. But here's what it comes down to, guys. I'm not waiting for the job to teach me or for the job to require for me to do something in particular in order for me to be successful or to grow within my career or to grow within my field or to grow towards the direction that I'm going in. The job is the job. And then what I do after the job is what I want to do or it drives me in a direction that I want to go in. So I'm dressing for the job that I want, not for the job that I have. I'm not waiting on anybody to give me an opportunity. I'm always working after work. I'm always hustling. I'm always self-improvement. I always am preparing myself for the next steps. I'm not waiting on somebody to lay me off. I'm not waiting on nobody to tell me that I need this particular skill set in order for me to continue to grow. I'm always preemptively looking for the next opportunity and then putting myself in a position, because success is when opportunity meets preparation. And so it is a form of laziness when you look at it from my lens. Maybe it's not lazy when it comes to other people, because yeah, you go to work every day, take care of your business, you do what you're doing. That's normal stuff. When it comes to this grind, when it comes to this hustling, when it comes to what you really want out of life, it's not about discovering yourself. The process is for you. The success is for everybody else. The receipts is for everybody else. So I'll give you an example, right? People always say, I'm always trying to figure out what my purpose is in life, or what it is that I'm supposed. Your purpose is ever evolving. It doesn't stop. It changes from day to day. It changes from year to year. Who you are at 25 is going to be completely different than who you are at 35, and who you are at 45, and who you are at 55. So your purpose is going to evolve, but it has to come through the work, because that's where the discovery comes from. So if you're just sitting here talking about, yeah, I just did an assessment today to figure out who I am, for me, that's lazy. But again, I guess we all got different standards. Let me go ahead and hear a little bit more. What do you got to say?
The role was like a test software engineer, and they asked me this freaking, what was it? It was a find the maximum beauty of a string. I didn't even know what that was, but I had to I had to figure it out, and I solved the coding exercise. But like, wow. It's asinine to me. Somebody like him, he doesn't work in tech, he wouldn't understand. Like, I don't know.
we just gonna ignore that part. We gonna act like he didn't just say what he said. We gonna ignore that part. Come on, let's continue.
There's two sides to it, right? Like, you know, on one hand, these companies do need to filter candidates and stuff, but like at the same time, like, it's just, to me personally, I will forever go against the grain on this and say that like these interview questions can be a little ridiculous, even though that like the beauty of a string question wasn't necessarily challenging, but like, I don't know, it's just stupid. And then he was comparing it to how, like, you know, he was getting better as a content creator and stuff, and investing all of his money back into his business and continually getting better and continually improving. That's great, but you wanted to be a content creator. You want to do that, you know, you want to exceed in that skill, and which is in it, it's a skill 100%. Like, that's the entire.
No. See, this is where he's confused. I want to make money. I want to get richer. You think I care about real estate? You think I'm so obsessed with houses and single family homes? No, we learn as much as we can, and we build houses in order to continue to evolve the business, and then figure out where we can stash the money so that we don't have to pay as much in taxes. The goal is to get rich. Listen, man, I don't care if I'm selling rubber dog doo-doo, or cleaning out a vet down the street. If it's going to get me the bag to do what it is that I really, really want to do, which is even make more money and then leverage my money in order to make more assets, that's the goal. All money in. And listen, it's not about y'all purpose is not the job. Stop thinking that your job title or something that is man-made. Everything that we see out here, putting down concrete on the street, being a software engineer, computers, like hardware, whatever it is. If you an Apple engineer, if you a content creator, don't matter what it is. It's all man-made based off of the demand and what people don't know that they want, and then feeling a desire and a demand for the general public. That's how you get rich. All of these titles that y'all have, that y'all keep throwing on yourselves, man, I don't know what my purpose. Your purpose is whatever it is that you determine your purpose is. It's to add value and then be able to monetize off of it. That's the goal, is to get rich. The goal is to make money so you can do what you want to do, not do what you have to do. I don't care what it is, as long as it puts me in a position to be able to invest more money in the things that's going to make me rich and ensure that my daughter's going to be taken care of for the rest of her life. That's the goal. I don't care nothing about no title. My computer is on right now in the background, literally. Because we are in corporate right now. Actually, we're not in corporate right now because it's still a little early. But we're going to dial into corporate. We're going to do the stand-up this morning. We got a big meeting later on at 2:30. We're going to run up that bag. Care nothing about the career path. What do I care about? Man, I don't care if I'm over there driving trucks for Waste Management. If it's going to run up a bag and if I can fit it into my schedule, I'm going to run it up. And then I'm going to take the money and I'm going to put it in something that actually makes more money for me so that I ain't got to worry about it. I don't really know why these people are complaining so much about what they're paying. Man, come on, bro. Come on, man. Grow up. Let your nuts hang, big dog.
Reason why I was questioning software engineering. I'm
I
like,
got you, Pharaoh. I see you make
like
40%.
at least average, maybe a little above average, but you know, like I'm not exceptional. There's like layers to this shit. I'm not, you know, somebody with like 10 years plus experience, someone who like has architected an entire system before. Like that's not me. But like I guess I actually have done that to an extent, but like not, I don't know, not in the level that I'm picturing. If you're watching this and you're working
Shout
in
out
tech,
to everybody that got that bag. Shout out to everybody that got that 40% jump after we talked about it in Stock Club.
Where I'm coming from. But in any case, the other thing I wanted to talk about was how, like, if you have any kind of software engineering skills with any kind of language, it isn't that hard to learn a different language because all of the programming fundamentals, how to structure your program, data structures, like all that
He
shit's
seems like
the
a smart
same.
guy.
The technology might like scale
He's
to a
lazy.
degree, but like at least in the term of like programming.
For a person to be this smart and to be this lazy, it's almost like a waste of talent. While you sitting there in the woods, there's somebody out here that's getting it and taking your place in the places that you were supposed to be in. And you still trying to discover yourself, going on camping trips. And if you don't take your laptop with you and get to it.
If I can write a program in the let's say C or C++, it makes it easier for me to figure out how to use Python or C# or PowerShell, you know, like all that stuff translates over pretty easily. Like a lot of these companies are like looking for specific experience with specific languages. I happen to have experience in Python and C. It might not be with a specific like technology within those languages, but like I still have the experience working with those languages. So like it literally just depends who you talk to, right? Like if you're talking to a recruiter, they're not going to acknowledge certain things.
Would y'all hire this guy? If you sitting there and you got to pick between one candidate that's not as smart as he is, but got harder work, greater work ethic, and then a guy like him that is obviously just naturally talented, but is always complaining and just got this little whiny thing about him, but he's not actually doing anything. He's just saying how easy it could be or how easy it is for him to be able to transition. Just curious. Do you hire the person with talent or do you hire the person with work ethic? Let me say that again. Do you hire the person that absolutely dedicates himself to whatever it is that he's doing and it doesn't matter whether or not he's good? Do you hire the Jimmy Butler? Do you want the Jimmy Butlers or do you want the Damian Lillards? The Damian Lillards is the talented as all hell. The Jimmy Butlers is the ones that's going to be in the mud getting to it. Do you take the Karl Anthony Towns or you take the Jimmy Butlers? That's an NBA reference for some of y'all. Let's get back to it.
But like if I'm talking to someone who's like in on my team, you know, someone who's like trying to hype me up, that's also has like a technical background.
Somebody said, I don't think he's lazy. I don't think he's lazy. He's doing what he wants. He's making his money on his terms. No, he got laid off. How do you make money on your terms when you're not making money? He said he got laid off. He got laid off. You can't make money on your terms when you don't have terms. When you need to ask somebody else in order to provide for you, when you have to ask somebody else for a job, which is cool, but you're not interdependent on yourself and making money on your terms, that's not quite what I envision how you framing that whole narrative, big dog.
Just like, dude, like your resume's stacked, you know, you should be good. Like, yeah, I don't know. It literally just depends who you talk to. Something else that he was talking about was how like engineers are always in demand, and what he may have deliberately left out was the fact that tech layoffs are happening right now, and there is a squeeze going on, and they're only looking for like senior level people overall. I haven't seen any like junior positions really. I haven't seen many entry level positions or anything like that. My personal goal would have been to, if I choose to go back into engineering, I want to do embedded systems because like that's the niche that I wanted to like delve into because that lines up pretty well with my background. I went to school for computer engineering. That's like a mix of software and hardware. Although most people who study that end up in software, but regardless, that's kind of where I was shooting for, niching down into embedded. And that's what I was on track to do in my last job. But in any case, interviewing.
He said that he didn't even like software engineering. He said he didn't like it.
Software engineering job does not equate to the actual job itself. It's an entirely different skill set. And the reason why I am questioning whether or not I want to go down that path is because I want to just pursue something that I know I can like get naturally good at, but also like fulfills me. And I don't see why I can't question that, right? Like, I don't know. I don't see the problem with that, as I've already said. Because like this guy's just like, oh, he only wants to improve on the things he wants to do, not what's going to bring him the bag. I could make money with photography, or I don't know, sales or video editing. Like there's so many different like ways that you can make money. You just got to obsess over it and get good enough so that you're recognized, which isn't easy. It takes time, it takes dedication. It can also take money if you can like, pay someone to teach you this skill faster. But like, it is what it is. And also he was like throwing around like those crazy monetary figures of like 250K. I am nowhere close to making that much money, like at all. Like I made like I'm not going to specify how much I made, but like I did not make anything close to that much money. And obviously, like if I were to make that much money, I would have to earn it. You know how out of touch someone is when they're throwing out figures like that, and they just like generalize an entire like population. If you're making 250K or more as a software engineer, you're working at Fang. That's not even a professional goal of mine. Like if it happens, cool.
Hey, Mr. Lot. Do you work at any of these type of companies? Listen, I coach people every single day. Shout out to Mr. Lot in the building. I know he in the chat. I see you up in there, big dog. Hey, Mr. Lot, do you make over $250,000 a year? I'm just curious. Because you do some of the same stuff that he do. I make well over two. Y'all seen you seen my W-2 from corporate. I'm just wondering, am I that far out of touch because I'm all money in? Maybe we just different over here at the Chasers. Maybe we different. Maybe we just got a whole nother mindset, mentality. Maybe we just in a whole nother wavelength. Maybe we are as Chasers. Maybe our standards are too high and we just don't fit. We don't fit in what's happening out here in these streets no more. We don't fit what's happening in corporate America. We don't fit what's going on with a lot of these new Gen Zs and younger millennials and stuff. Maybe we are as bag chasers. Keisha, Chris, Mr. Lot, Azriel, Micah, Treese, Fa Brown, K. Cooper, Chris James, Matt Newell. Maybe tech coach route. Maybe we just got too high of standards of what we want for ourselves. And we so far out of touch and so far out of compliance of what's normalized within society today that we just gonna get it. We don't get it. We can't relate to general people. But let me tell you something. I'm not interested in being normal. I never wanted to be a part of the herd. I never wanted to be the person that was dependent on a company and waiting for tech layoffs or waiting for the tide to turn in order for me to get myself together. Listen, after 2008, I said, never again. Never again will I put myself in a position to be at the mercy of somebody else. I'm going to capitalize off of it. I'm going to get all money in. I'm going to get the bags. I'm going to continue to push work ethic over everything. But I'm going to be very intentional with how I leverage my time and leverage my money, and I'm going to move differently. All of this is just whining to me. All of this is just excuses to me. I just think we different, bro. I just think we got a different mindset. We got a different grind. I never miss. This is my studio because I pay for it. I pay for it because it puts me in a space to where it allows for me to be way more productive, and I make way more money by dedicating myself. Listen, man, I will be here for 14, 16 hours a day sometimes during the week. I know that there's days during the week I got to dedicate myself, and I may not sleep on 1 or 2 days, but for 4 hours or 3 hours on those days, because it's just going to be a long day. We just different, man. I just want something different in life. I started up my 911 yesterday, and it only got 160 miles on it. I started up my 911 yesterday and I seen that the tire, it looked like I rolled over a nail at some point because the tire pressure was low. I told my chick, I said, yo, go and get that checked out and then, see if the tire need to be changed. We don't ask for the costs. We don't figure out what plane tickets cost. We do what we want to do. I mean, we just different. I just understand. I get it now. So when we do these reaction videos from now on, we're going to have to take into consideration that we just got a different mentality and we don't move the same way that the rest of the world moves. We just different. We separate. We set aside. That's what it means to be sanctified. It's to be clean, set aside, without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. Separate from the world. We got a whole nother standard that we move based off of over here.
That'll be a nice little, like, subtle flex, but it's really not my goal. Because the one thing he did say that was accurate, to be fair to Anton, he said some things that were accurate, but one of the things that stuck out was that, yeah, there are other companies that are looking for engineers, but, like, there's a reason why there's a bunch of fucking layoffs going on. So, like, you're not just going to sit there and be like, oh, he's lazy, but, like, I've applied to literally, I don't know. I don't know the exact metric. I haven't really been tracking it, but I'm trying to do it.
Shout out to Mike, that dude,
so,
man.
You know what I mean? Because at this point in my career, again, assuming I decide to continue with software engineering, I want to pick the niche that's right for me. Because the point that I was trying to make in that other video that I was making was that, I said, maybe I admitted that I, like, wasn't good, but, like...
Y'all want me to bring him onto the show? He said he reached out to me. I don't know how he reached out to me. Reach out to me. I'll bring you on the show, big dog.
What I meant is that I'm just average right now with the amount of experience that I have, or at least I feel average. That was the point I was trying to drive home.
We're not built like them. We different.
I've gotten plenty of positive feedback through my jobs over the years. Granted, coming off of a YouTube video where, like, this guy Anton totally took me at face value of being a fucking lazy piece of shit or something. I don't know.
No, but, like, I would never call you a POS ever. I respect you. As a matter of fact, I tell people to go and check out your channel. This is more visibility for you, big dog. Capitalize off of it.
The only point I'm trying to drive home here is that I want to work. I just want to enjoy the work that I'm doing so that I can inherently get better at the thing. And then
I don't really care about the work. I just care about getting rich.
The process just kind of turns into a system and just, like, churns. And it goes exponential from there. Yeah, maybe a couple generations ago, people just worked because they had to and they just did whatever they had.
Most of the people that I know that's in my circle, they don't even just have one job. I don't know no person in my immediate circle outside of my wife, because she works for me. I don't know one person that has one source of income. Let me say that again. I don't know one person that is in my immediate circle that is around me that we don't have to align our schedules and say, hey, when your schedule free and when your schedule free in order for us to link up. I don't know one person that only got one income. Every person that I know that worked from home got more than one work from home job, because that's the opportunity to leverage it and get a bag. Every person that I know that worked from home has more than one job that they're capitalizing off of, because if they're going to spend 8 to 10 hours in front of a computer, they're going to double the income that come along with it. I don't know one person that got one source of income. Not one. And I got 8. I have 8 sources, different places where all of my income is coming in. 8 sources of income. Some a little bit more passive than others.
Had to do to survive. I'd like to think that in today's
and let me tell you how they leverage it. They use one income to survive, the other one to invest. One income in order to pay their regular bills, and then the rest of it they use to invest. They don't use that in order to level up their lifestyle. They maintain a standard of living, and then they dollar cost average, and they put everything that they have into their investments. One income to live off of, the other one in order to pour into the things that they really want to do.
Age, maybe people, depending on, the country you're born into, I'd like to think that most people in the Western world do have the privilege to be able to choose their career in, like, almost any capacity. Obviously, there is a level of privilege. I'm saying that from a place of privilege, but I'm acknowledging it. So, like, I hope that, like, that doesn't come off the wrong way. But chances are, if you're in college, if you're going to college, you're choosing your major. You have a control over what your career can become. That's all I have to say about that. I don't know, man. Like, putting yourself on social media like I have, obviously that comes with opening yourself up to criticism. And I accepted that when I decided to make a channel, because like I guess I didn't expect like ever, obviously not everyone is going to resonate with my channel. That being said, you don't have to watch if you don't, but still, my entire life I've worked hard. I've tried to get good grades in school. I tried to do well in college. I always took all that stuff seriously. Once I got a job, you know, I took that seriously. I used to be a server. I started as a host and I got promoted to a server because I self-improved. Wild fucking concept. And I got good at my job. Wow, crazy. And then I got my job as an intern, you know, I got better at that on the job without doing any of the software engineering hustle culture stuff. I just got better working on the job. And lo and behold, I got a full-time role. And rinse and repeat, you know, 2 jobs later, I got the role that was meant for me. Granted, I was laid off, but that was because the company wasn't doing well. Maybe I misspoke, or maybe I was just flat out wrong when I said, you know, engineers are like the first to let go. But that video was a kind of an emotional one, or a react. I don't know. It was spontaneous. I wasn't really thinking about it too much. But in any case, it's just crazy how you can spend your like entire life just grinding, you know, or most of your life grinding, you know, and then just some dude on the internet takes one video you made and just stereotypes you into this like class of people that you just have so far removed yourself from. like oh my god, like when he's like saying these people are lazy and entitled and whatnot, like that's just crazy. It's like I strongly disagree with that entirely. I've never thought of myself as being like that, you know, like I've literally worked for everything that I've been able to do in life. And yeah, I don't know, just like enough said. Like the fact that I'm here right now in Colombia, like I fucking worked my ass off when I was working and saved up enough money so that I guess I didn't know I was going to do this, right? Like, you know, you don't fucking know you're going to get laid off most of the time. But like, you know, the money that I had put aside was probably going to go to a house or some shit, but then I got sucked into like entrepreneurship porn, and then, you know, I was like, oh, I want to put this money towards like a business instead. So like I've started to invest into stuff that would help me do that. And yeah, here we are. Here we are in Colombia instead. In any case, yeah, it's just, it's wild. I actually, you know, I commented on Anton's video. I would like him to reach out to me, but I don't think he's...
I don't delete comments. How did I delete comments? Now, I do say that the system flags comments if they're a little bit spicy, but no, Anton from AntonDaniels.com never deletes comments. As a matter of fact, I just said that I'll have you on the show if you want to come on the show. Sure. I'm going to see if I can reach out to you, and I'm going to have you on. Maybe we'll have you on tomorrow for the Millionaire Morning Show if you wake up early enough. I don't know if you get up that early, but Time Dog does not delete comments. The only thing I do is delete spam. You know, when them little sexy girls be on there in the beginning of your video and they be having their booties up and they be like, oh my God, and it be a comment that's not even relevant to the video. We do not delete comments over here. As a matter of fact, I tell people to let them rock.
I'd love to like talk to this guy and just have him like try to come at me and debate me or whatever, especially because he doesn't even work in tech. So like,
you know how many DMs I get on a regular basis? Everybody think that I'm gonna see their DM. What's his name? I don't know what his name is on Instagram. We'll figure it out. He wants to debate me. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see something. Let me see what he was about to say.
Try to come at me and debate me.
Hold on.
I'd love to like talk to this guy.
You can't censor me, but censor someone open to discussion. Okay.
And just have him like try to come at me and debate me or whatever, especially because he doesn't.
Let me read this. Hey man, you made a hit piece. Ain't nobody make a hit piece video. I just criticized what he was saying. I just reacted to what he was saying. A few weeks back, I'd love to have a podcast style conversation with you for one or both of your YouTube channels. I got more than 2. I commented on the video yesterday, asked for the same, but you must have deleted it. In any case, I think it would do really well since the video you reacted to really popped off. All my videos pop off, big dog. I'm going to make and release a reaction video regardless, but I figured I'd reach out to you first. Let me know if you're interested. Yeah, sure. I'm interested. We'll talk about it.
Doesn't even work in tech. So like there's so many fucking different layers to working in tech. So many. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's something that can't really generalize. We all don't make 250K a year. God fucking no. We do not, you know? So yeah, that's all I got to say on that. The whole entire purpose of this channel is just kind of like document my life and you know, take
I don't
you
know
guys
what his
along for the
username
ride,
is,
whether it be good or
I
bad. I also
gotta go through it
recognize
and
that
see.
like those software engineering videos might not be the best look if a future employer were to find them, but I don't know, man. Like I kind of just took the risk, you know, like hopefully someone watching that was a future employer would just, you know, stumble into my channel and see my other videos and see that I wasn't a fucking degenerate because I'm literally craving work right now. I've been looking for work. I'll admit I haven't been looking for work as aggressively because I've been weighing my options. I've thought about sales. I've thought about obviously getting back into software engineering, whatever. That's the default generic path. But I've also thought about like, I've been weighing my options for the reason that I already.
Neither here nor there. So I just wanted to go ahead and give people more visibility again. If you guys want to check out his channel, it's called Jaul Panos. I'll look for his DM amongst the thousands of DMs that I get on a regular basis. I'll look for his DM and then we'll we'll get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna see if we can get him on for tomorrow's show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Anyway, shout out to him for the good content. I want to make sure that I give a round of applause to the big dog. Hey, but listen, on the real though, before we continue on with the show and we start getting into Oakland and all of this stuff, right? I want to make sure that I give credit to the content creators, right? Because it's very hard. It's very, very difficult to be vulnerable and put yourself out there only for the people to send me a video of yours to react to. And then you got to deal with the consequences that come along with that. And now you're asking for a debate. I just want to make sure I shout out all of the content creators because, you know, the internet is forever. The internet is forever. And, you know, when you jump out there, you can't really take it back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So it should be a very, very interesting conversation. So I wanted to start the live stream off a little bit different today. And instead of doing quick hits, we did a little bit of a observation of what people are saying as a reaction to what I say about them. Shout out to Pharaoh.